Vaiki Kakasa, Vaiki for the ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Media Watch. I'm your host, Dr. Savi. Now, every week we try and get you some fantastic guests, and sometimes we have magic guests. And this week we've got a couple of magic guests, a slight kind of variation from the normal show format. We sometimes get people in to talk about their inspiration, what drives them to do what they do, to get up in the morning every day. And today, as I said before, magic-wise, I should have said Mr. and Mrs. Magic, actually. Yeah. It would be another way of doing it, actually. We actually have Amandeep Singh, which is also known as a brand, as Magic Singh, and we'll talk about that in a bit. We've also got Pavan as well. So Pavan, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Now, just a quick explanation. Magic Singh you may know about, I hope you do. He's been around for a while and he's making a name for himself and he's doing really, really well. And some fantastic news also from Pavan, who has started up in Selfridges and some other stores where she's got this fantastic brand that she's bringing out, which specialises in henna, amongst other things as well. And one of the other things is, I think she is the Guinness World Record or kind of an international record holder of the fastest Mendi, as well as original designs, as well as doing something just like that, you know? Just like that in terms of, isn't that what that guy Tommy Cooper used to say? Just like that. I wanted to kind of start off because one of the things we do is we talk about the news generally, but there is a major item that came out recently, which was about a minister who had resigned. She was from a particular community.
Correct.
Sometimes you don't get to see that. Was it Trudeau said recently in Canada that there are more Singhs in his cabinet than there are in the Indian government? But you know, we've been around. My father came over to the UK in '58. People have been around for many, many years, many generations now, whether it be in Africa or whether it be India, Canada, United States, all over the world. And so it's really nice to see people that do progress into positions, but sometimes it's difficult when things don't go out the way they should do.
Mm-hmm.
They have to resign or whatever. I wanted to ask you specifically, you're up and coming, you're both up and coming, you've got a new brand, effectively, which is now penetrating, very high quality stores. I'll ask you first, Magic, do you find it hard to compete? Our show's about media. You've got to do your own media effectively. You haven't got a giant engine behind you to help you. How is it difficult? Is it easier for other people or other communities than you?
I think with any industry, it's very competitive. Now, with the magic industry, there are so many magicians out there, and majority of them are English magicians. If you're looking here in the UK specifically, when it comes to Indian magicians or brown-coloured or black-coloured magicians, there's not that many. Being brown, but also a Sardarji as well at the same time, I can only count one other magician who is still around doing his thing and has done a fantastic job. The question of, is it difficult? I believe it could be, but I guess I got lucky in the respect I managed to create a brand. So rather than just being a magician and being kind of diluted amongst everyone else out there, I've got a brand. Everyone refers to me as Magic Singh, and of course I've got to deliver the best I can, and that kind of shows through my work, and people see that as well. So
that's a really optimistic way of looking at it. We had a guest on a few weeks back. Her name is Am. She runs a Focus PR, which is a company. And I asked her a similar question about, do you think like everyone gets an equal opportunity in terms of getting out there and having an opportunity to succeed? And she said something really quite nice actually. It was quite refreshing to hear. And she said, well, if you work hard at anything, you can make it. And I thought that was a really optimistic thing to say. And do you believe that? If you work really hard, you will get your opportunity?
Yeah, hard work always pays up, and I've always had that from my parents, just be the best. And my grandparents as well, they've always said, just be the best at what you do, no matter what you choose in life. And I feel we've got to work that extra bit harder just to kind of show who we are, because sometimes I feel when it comes to the media industry, you're kind of, their heads are turned. So you've got to do something a little bit different, or be the best at what you do essentially, so that you do get noticed. And I feel like I've done that, and the recognition is definitely there, always coming along.
So how about yourself, Pavan? You've got this, brand of yours. Tell us what it's called.
So we're Pavan Henna Bar based in Selfridges, and we've had pop-ups in
Topshop, Harvey Nichols. We've just launched in New York.
Do you mean you get like girls coming to it, do you, or guys as well?
Guys and
guys that
girls.
etch out the special henna on the...
Yeah.
Can you do my one?
Yes, if you like. But we
Not that I've got any muscles there, but you know.
That's okay, we'll enhance it.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Goodness, shading.
Contouring.
We serve such a wide variety of people, so it's not just Asians. In fact, at first, it wasn't Asians that we served in Selfridges, it was all tourists and the Western clientele. But now we'll get the clients who come in and they can't make their cousin's Sangeet night or their friend's Sangeet night, so they'll come over to the bar after work and they've still got the mehndi on for the wedding at the weekend. So Karwa Chauth and Diwali, and we're busy on all of these kind of seasons. So in terms of getting into the mainstream and everything, I think definitely working harder and really persevering and really just there are obstacles 100%, and obviously people are going to think, oh, you're a girl, and then on top of that you're an Asian girl, and then on top of that you're offering such a niche. But then if you keep doing it and keep consistent in it, I think you'll definitely get there.
So we're talking earlier on about the kind of social media side of things, right? So obviously you've got Instagram, really good one. I commented it on it the other day.
Right.
Saying,
That's
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thank you for the feedback. God, the messaging does work, doesn't it?
Yes.
Which is brilliant. And then you were saying to me earlier on, do you think it's easier for you in terms of like being able to proliferate the brand, to be able to communicate it?
Yeah, because I mean, people are used to, they have a kind of, they know which ethnic minority, if you like, do a certain job specifically better. For example, braiding, black people are amazing at braiding. You know, eyebrows, it's an Indian art form, they'll do it, you know that they'll do it well. Chinese people are known for doing the nails, and henna as well. I think if it was an English person opening up a henna bar, a lot of people would probably be skeptical and say, and a lot of people would say, you know, what do you know about henna? Not that they wouldn't know it. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but I think people are more trusting to having a beauty treatment done that is from that part of the culture.
But how do you propagate that through social media or through blogging or talking about it?
We're always putting up images of henna, how we apply it, doing time lapses, educating people on henna, because a lot of people are not educated on it. The first thing that people say is, oh, stay away from henna, that black henna, you come up with rash and whatever. And so we're still...
It's a natural product though, isn't it?
Yes, exactly, and that's the difference, and a lot of people don't know that. When you go for the black henna, it's with the chemicals that they have in it. If it's original henna and it's chemical free, it's completely natural, it won't harm your skin. So it's very much, I was saying to my husband the other day that I feel like we're part of a movement, not just a business, it's a movement of number one, getting henna artists recognised for being artists and not just sitting in the corner doing someone's mehndi, and also to educate that henna is a beauty treatment. It is an additional beauty service and now offered in various department stores.
I like your idea of calling it a movement, because effectively you could argue that in the early days, if you had like first generation, which might have been 50s, 60s or whatever, then there's a generation that are born here like us, and then our kids, when they effectively become third generation. So I wonder if your view is that, does it take time for some settlement to take place before the kind of the quality and all the different things emerge and the new services emerge?
Definitely, because I've had a lot of girls that work for me, and a lot of henna artists are quite introvert, so they're not very talkative. So I've taught them to be sales people as well as offering the henna service. We've really given a professional.
But you could try everything you want to, right? But
Sorry?
are you going to get a look in? That's my real worry. I mean, you could be, and you are very competent at what you do. You get a demo, hopefully.
You'll get that very shortly.
And then, and I'm going to pay you for any of this demo, by the way, actually on here, and just to give us.
Well, that's on off.
The check's in the post. No, it's not. But is it difficult to get out there and communicate? I mean, how did you get into? I mean, for you, specifically, it must be really hard work to get into a major brand like that. And for you, it's difficult to get into the mainstream media in terms of not only the shows, For Amardeep, it's quite, his stuff is so visual that you see it and it's like whoa, and you want to share it and you want to show it, and it's quite not easier, but it's quite people want to see it. You don't have to really talk them into it. Whereas with my kind of thing, offering henna as a business, it was very difficult, because people only thought, oh, it's an Indian thing, number one. Yeah. Then they thought, oh, it's only for weddings. Then we got the thing, oh, people will only have it in the summer. So Selfridges actually made us
trial for a whole year
Wow.
before they made us permanent. But thankfully, we were just as busy at Christmas as we were over the summer. So now we've got a Halloween menu, we've got a Christmas menu, we've got a festival menu, and so we're moving with, and it's really changing the way we offer henna. It's putting it in a whole different light, completely different
So
light.
people use henna on their hair as well, don't they?
Yeah, people use henna on
Yeah.
their hair, on their eyebrows.
Yeah.
We also do for cancer patients henna crowns.
Right,
So we
okay.
put henna on their scalps when they're undergoing chemotherapy. It's just so versatile. You've got Beyonce who had it on her baby bump.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
You've got Rihanna tattooed a henna design on her hand. So it's really coming out and being pulled into the mainstream. And by us offering it in such well-known department stores, it just makes it so accessible.
But I think that point is the one about the mainstream is that as it becomes a fashion, inverted commas, it becomes more acceptable to something that you'd want to go and actually
Exactly.
pursue, right?
Yeah.
Music is not, or even being a magician is. It's a different thing. It's an entertainment thing, right? So I often, because I'm a big music fan, and I was saying this to you earlier on when I actually listen to Radio 1, I think, hey, there must be more music than this going out.
Sure, yeah.
And it's very easy for someone to sit back and go, well, where did that artist come from, and where did that rap star suddenly come from?
Yeah.
But they might have been working really hard in the background, maybe did a lot of club scenes to be able to get to a point where they could become successful. So it's very easy for us to be critical. And I know that genuinely you've done a lot of hard work. You've worked really hard in different places to be up and coming. Whether it be, a comedian, I'm not comparing you to a comedian, I'm just saying whether it be a comedian who works a lot of the clubs, or somebody who's a singer who may be in a lot of amateur groups, or actors that do amateur work. Eventually they put the hard work in and they get an opportunity.
That's right.
I mean, how does that opportunity, does it researchers that give you a call and say, hey, we've heard about you? How do you get to be picked up by the mainstream and be given that kind of opportunity?
I tell you what's helped a lot is social media, especially in this day and age. Before
That you're
it was
doing, right?
And I'm pushing as much as I can, as best as I can. I'm still learning every single day. And my wife and I, actually, just a couple of days ago, I had a lesson in social media on how we can kind of accentuate our work even more so and get it out to the masses. And it's a job within itself, correct? It's fascinating, the whole world of social media. But it has helped in the way where I've got noticed by various people around the world. So it's got me work around the world to do launch parties, launches of hotels, cars, and all sorts of various things, and even TV job opportunities, which is brilliant. Even like talent shows as well.
Reality type
Reality,
stuff?
reality type talent shows.
You've had an opportunity in the past,
I
haven't you?
have, and it was quite an interesting story in that respect. I got the opportunity to go onto the show and exhibit my work, and
They loved it, didn't they?
they loved it, and I got pretty far with the whole process, but they got to a point where they decided not to put me through for X, Y, or Z reasons, which I did find out down the line as to why. This may be true, this may not be true, but it is what it is, and the way I look at it is just use it as a blessing in disguise, and that wasn't for me, so I've just got to keep pursuing doing what I do best. And
I think the great thing is that it's a confidence booster,
Yeah.
even if you don't make it
Yeah.
through, because it's
Yeah.
not your decision that you didn't make it.
Yeah.
It was possibly another alternative agenda that was operating that
Exactly.
you couldn't
Yeah.
control. The
Exactly.
fact that you gave it your best shot,
Sure.
and you were in a position where you were given the all clear. There was something else going on.
The experience,
And
that
the
you
experience,
walked away
absolutely,
walk away with. I mean, I remember that my first pop-up that I had in Topshop, we had it for 4 weeks, and literally we had a trolley, some Mendy, and a bit of glitter. That was it. And I say this to date, that although it was crazy and something I had such a tough time going through, I learnt more in those 4 weeks than I did in my 3 years at uni. So the lesson that you walk away with, no matter how hard it is, and you've learnt a valuable lesson of how TV works, how showbiz works, and that knowledge, you can't. That's priceless.
I think it's a credit to both of you that you're very optimistic.
you have to be, otherwise
You're
you
going
just
to
get
go,
bogged
it's not going to
down.
work. I don't want to try this again.
Sometimes we have our days
Yeah.
where we're
Yeah.
like, oh. But then I think that because we love what we're doing so much, I mean, the highs are high. We've had this discussion. The highs are high, the lows are low. But he loves his magic so much. It'll be at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, oh, can I try this trick on you? Can I practice this one? Or I'll be like, right, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to launch this, and I'm going to do that. So we're always talking about what we want to do next, and try not to dwell too much about what's going wrong, because to be quite honest, a lot has gone right. So
Yeah, true. They just stick out like a sore thumb sometimes, I know.
Yeah, and when we speak to others about what they're doing, and you know, how they would like to go for their dreams and what position they're in. We look at each other and we're like, gosh, I'm so thankful that we've been able to go for our dreams and been able to pursue our passion. We've had supportive families, we've got each other, we've got a roof over our heads, we've got food in our stomach, we're okay, we're fine. So we're all right to keep going.
That's an important thing that you mentioned about families as well. Families supporting, having that kind of, you know, guidance, as well as making sure that, you know, when, like you said, when you are down, you know, we're all human at the end of the day. We're going to go, oh, we could have done that, but you know, someone picking you up again, somebody around you to support that.
And we've got very strong-minded parents. Strong siblings, you know, and they'll keep us going. And some days, and the good thing is, when I'm feeling low, he's up. When he's feeling low, I'm up. So, you know, we'll pick. I think a balance who you're surrounded with, and you know, like when things don't go according to plan, it's just good to remind yourself of when things have.
We should do some tricks, right? Well, you will. Or
Let's try something.
I will.
We can do the tricks on you.
Don't
you
tempt
can't
us,
get
it's
any more because you get them at night time. Right? Now, you know, in terms of the ones that here's the experimental one.
This is actually something new I'm working on, so I'd like to try this with you, and I do hope this works.
Yeah, it's all right.
We are on TV.
Nothing like live, you know.
So it's using a pack of cards.
Okay, cool.
No fancy shuffles, nothing whatsoever. All I'd like you to do is cut the cards in half and hand me
so
portion. So roughly
that
half, and you can place it into my hand.
Okay, so if I cut them in half?
Yeah, that's more than enough.
And then put
if you take you take that half, keep it face down like I'm holding it as well. So face down, that's it. No fancy shuffles, nothing whatsoever. All you're going to do is you're going to spread through the cards. Just spread them just gently like this.
Like that,
yeah. And then you're just going to push one card forward like this, without even looking at it. So like how I've done, just push any one card forward, that's it. Close them up ever so gently, and then you've got one card protruding out on both packs.
Okay, you can see I play a lot of cards. Can't you?
You're doing well so far.
I get blamed at home by my wife that I don't actually play enough cards, you know, she's a super duper expert.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hold on to your card and you can hold on to my card.
Okay, I can do that.
And you're going to take it out without even looking at it and place it on top of your pack, and I'll do the same onto my pack.
Got that, yeah.
Okay, so what we've just done is completely random, completely free.
Pretty much.
You know, for the two cards to now be the same colour would be, well, it's a 50-50 chance it's black or red. But then for the two cards to now be the same value would be pretty amazing, right? Nice,
amazing,
that's
amazing.
a good start. Let's just show the camera there, people at home, two
brilliant.
aces. I feel like we should try this again. So keep the cards face down as they are. And again, just spread through the cards like this, and then just take out one card and just push it forward.
So any one in the middle?
Yeah,
or
just
whatever.
push it forward. It doesn't matter which one it is, and I'll do the same as well. And again, same procedure, you close them up. I'll hold yours, you hold mine.
Okay, I got that.
And just take it out without even looking in, just place it on top of the pack like this. Again, for the chances of them being the same colour, it's 50-50, but the same value would be impressive, right? Let's see what we've got. Oh, I've got another ace there.
Oh man, another ace. Wow, amazing.
So they can see what,
that's fantastic.
4 aces.
Yeah.
But I've got to ask you one thing. Did you feel like you had a free choice?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the people at home would agree.
It was a free choice, it was a free choice.
What if I told you didn't?
Okay.
Turn the cards over. They're all blank.
Oh, my word. Okay.
Every single card
Scary.
is blank.
See, I don't know
how did that happen?
I'm just glad that worked.
Very good, very good.
There you have it.
Thank you very much for that
Absolute
one.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Need another pack of cards now.
What about if you put your hand like that and suddenly Mendy comes on it, and then you put your hand like that and Mendy
goes,
Mendy disappears?
Yeah, it's still in the trial process, isn't it?
That would be really good, wouldn't it?
That'd be
You know, instant transfer or something, you know?
Yeah.
And then instant transfer off.
That'll be a whole new record, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So how fast can you do it?
I did 511 armbands in 1 hour. But that's the second time I broke it. I've broken it twice
Oh,
now.
that, what, up here?
Yeah, so
Right.
different armbands. Each design has to be different. So the first time I did it was 314, and then the second time was 511. And I still hold the record now.
That's pretty good. Congratulations. Well done on that.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Any more tricks?
Let's do one more thing. No cards. Let's see what we have. Oh, actually, have you got any cash on you? Like a 5 or a tenner?
I do always keep extra bit of cash.
Oh, excellent.
You know what I have? Just loose.
We're going
There we
to
go.
play it safe. Nice.
£5?
£5.
It's a real
that's
one,
more,
right.
It's a real. It's a plastic one. It's
Is it?
one of
Yeah.
the new fivers.
You have to check special digits for something on those, don't you? Is it maybe worth
Yeah,
something.
this one is. Yeah, this is worthless. That's fine. But we'll use this anyway. I didn't switch it, by the way, just in case you're thinking that. This is your £5.
No switching, it just dropped on the floor for a second.
If I fold this once, twice, 3 times, we get a square-ish shape. One more little fold, and a little stretch. You can strip away that plastic and reveal the paper that's inside. Oh, that's better.
Whoa,
Isn't it?
amazing.
Nice. There we go. Let's make sure
Very
that's
good.
real.
Would it turn back into a £5 note when I put it back in my pocket?
Hopefully not. been good for us
I
so
think it's
far.
been good for me, actually. It's not good for you so far. Thank you.
Aren't you glad you came tonight?
I am, actually. Yeah, I even got paid for turning up.
Look at that. Wish came
Thank
true,
you.
eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant.
My
Oh, thank
pleasure.
you for that.
No
Great,
worries,
great. Thanks. Of course, there was this, with the cards, I mean, you know, it's quite fun, is that you can do stuff with clothes and things as well, can't you?
The beauty about magic, it's adaptable to any situation, and you can. It's a creative art form. You know, you can do it with clothes, like you said. You can do it with pens, cards, money, rings, watches, and
Right.
you're going to do my professional gigs. I'm always doing this, and I'm always thinking of new ideas all the time. This is why I'm running my Boven all the time. Like, does this look good? Does this work? And most of the times they look okay.
No,
In
they
the
do,
early
they look
stages,
great,
they look
yeah.
good, thank God. But then it's just a kind of a practicing process. And the real practice comes when I'm out there in the field performing for people. Because I could stand in front of a mirror practicing and it may look good in this one angle, but you can understand that, you know, I'm surrounded when I'm performing every time, and the psychology of misdirecting the
So how do you
eye.
do that? How could you, like, I mean, you got a blank set of cards there. Can you, like, you know, do magic on people's clothes and things, and, you know, touch them and things take place? Is there things that you can do?
There's various different things that
Yeah.
can be done, and that is all available and viewable
Right.
on my social medias, and
Right.
there's plenty more to come as well.
You've done something to his jacket, haven't you?
Have you? Have you done something to my?
You know what? If I click one more time,
Right. 'Cause I mean, I don't know. This is like no.
this might
is
not
no-
work. Look,
this-
let's try this. If you just place your arm out for me like
Okay, we'll
this.
do that. Yeah.
Let's
Right.
try this now.
Okay.
I know it sounds a bit
Slight
strange.
electric current going through there.
It feels weird, right? If
It
you
does, doesn't
open
it?
both your buttons, only in the
I will
jacket, of
do.
course.
Yeah, let me open my jacket.
And before you open the last button, so open the first one.
Open the first one first. Yeah.
Yeah. Just think of a card, or name one out.
An ace or something. You know.
Ace. Let's go with Ace of Spades. Okay. Open the last button, and if
Okay.
you just open up the jacket and show your line
Oh, my
to the people
word.
at home. There you go. There's
Look at all
your
the
Ace of
aces on
Spades
there. Look at
repeated
that. Where
so
did all
many
these- Where
times.
did all these cards? Are these all the cards that were over there?
That's right. Yeah.
That
So
have
they've
transferred to
all
there?
transferred down
Yeah,
there.
it's pretty incredible stuff.
That's amazing.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? That's yeah, it's very
There you go. There's
magical.
an
Appreciate
impromptu
that.
example
Thank
for you guys.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's going to be worth a lot more now, isn't it? I'm not sure if I want to go into a casino with wearing that. You know.
Imagine
That'd be
that.
good. So that's obviously where all these have gone. They've gone into my jacket.
Into your jacket now. So
Yeah.
a little souvenir
Great.
from me to you.
Great. A whole new way of hennaing the inside of my jacket. You know.
Exactly.
You just get to turn up and it will just go like that, and then you won't have to do any work.
That'd be perfect. We could
Brilliant.
launch a new clothing line.
Yeah.
So if we were to, you know, you were saying that people do, you talk to people and you know, kind of they look to you and they say, look, you know, this is really good, and you inspire them. If there were some things that you might want to say to them, just as we're getting to the end of the show, what would you say if somebody was really interested in pursuing their dreams and wanting to? I mean, although it's hard work, you know, we know that
Hard
there might
work.
be.
I mean, and you've got to love it, because on the days that you don't reap the reward, you know, for financially or anything, something's got to keep you going. But I would say, you know, just persevere. If you love it enough, just keep going, and have the right people around you who see that, you know, what makes you happy, and they'll push you and encourage you to go for it. I think that makes all the difference.
That sounds good. So even when times are down, it's good to have people around you to
definitely,
support you.
because you need that encouragement. Because sometimes, you know, you feel like, oh, I want to give up, and that's with anything in life. But then if you've got the right people around you, they always prop you up and encourage you, and then you all of a sudden feel like, oh God, I've achieved something else, and I've gone and created another milestone, and you know, and you all of a sudden you look back and you see how far you've come, and that just keeps you going.
But how much do you think? Because you said you know people in the magic circle, I think it's called, isn't it? Like
Yep.
pretty high up as well. How important do you think networking is for business, or for networking for? I mean, I'm not saying it's show business, but networking in terms of getting to know people in the industry, they get to know you.
Networking is applicable to every business, I believe. I mean, we're attending as many sessions as we can, and even the magic industry as well. It's really important. There's a magic convention that happens every year, an annual one, which is the biggest one that's held in Blackpool. And you've got about 3,500 magicians, from beginners to amateurs to hobbyists to professionals. And it's nice to mingle with these people, because you'll get the advice from the professionals of what you want to know, and you'll find out things from like the youngsters or the amateurs or the hobbyists who will have a different take on certain things as well. But then when it comes to business, it's another different ball game essentially, because you're networking yourself to get more work.
And you're sharing information. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
important to
valuable,
share
yeah.
information.
And-
Some people are very closed, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to tell this one this information.
Yeah.
I don't want this person to get further than me."
Yeah.
It's really not the case. There's
Because
enough
that's a competitive situation.
Yeah,
is it?
yeah,
It
and
is.
I feel I think your industry are very helpful towards one another. Sometimes
Yeah.
the Asian makeup industry aren't very helpful towards each other. I think sometimes it can get catty. Whereas when I've learned a lot about the retail industry, a lot of people help each other, you know, will collaborate with different brands, and so that you both can get something out of it. So I think, I think sharing information is really
I think it's quite an
important.
interesting point about the collaboration of brands as well, because sometimes it's good to get in. I mean, you've got your own brands, which is brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But then obviously if you've got a mainstream brand, it kind of lifts you with that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get to share your audience as well, because we might be a small brand and someone might be a really big brand, and you know, you're introducing the small brand to the big brand and vice versa as well, and it's a different crowd.
Sometimes it pays off, not always. You know, they say about in social media that if you follow people that have a lot of followers, you're not necessarily going to get people following you, are you? So I mean, maybe unless you've got some content.
That's right, yeah.
All right, okay. So unfortunately, that's the end of the show. Really appreciate you both coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Probably wish you all the best in all the stuff you do. More shops, more exciting bars that you can open up to look after henna and stuff, and more exciting opportunities. I'm looking forward to seeing you on TV more and more and more. And wish you all the success in both of your careers.
Thank you.
Well, that's the end of the show, I'm afraid. We'll look forward to seeing you next time with hopefully more inspiring guests. Waiguru katoa, waiguru whate.